Tampa, home of the South Florida Bulls. Welcome to the herd. Go behind the scenes, from the sidelines to the studio and everywhere in between. Featuring exclusive interviews with coaches, players, insights from the community throughout the program's 26th football season. United by head coach Jeff Scott.
Here we go, lock in right here.
Get ready, because this is our family. This is Bulls country, and we're a stampede. This is Horns Up, USF All Access.
Hey, work on two, 1, 2.
Hello and welcome to Horns Up USF All Access. I'm WFLA sports anchor Karen Loftus.
And I'm USF sports anchor Kaylee Cottrell. Thank you so much for joining us. We are excited to give you inside access to the sights and sounds of USF with exclusive interviews and behind the scenes footage in the bullpen.
Okay, so the Bulls have had a tough stretch here as they are nearing the end of the season. That said, they are very much hoping for a strong finish to the year.
Absolutely, Karen. It's important to remember the why in these tough seasons, but also football is a community motivated not just by their success on the field, but in life.
Yeah, and so the coaches play a significant role in the success of players, both on and off the field. In fact, special teams coordinator Daniel Del Prado tells people he mentors young men when he's asked what he does for a living. Let's take a look at what some of the other coaches had to say about their why.
Chips forward. Push those chips forward. You got to be all in. Everybody who's wearing a South Florida helmet, you got to contribute today. Defensively, offensively, special teams, all chips forward for the Florida Bulls.
Pratt will try to throw, but he's going to be sacked.
Things that got me into coaching was really just giving back and just being able to help these young men get to a point to where, you know, they're being successful, you know, not necessarily just the NFL, but just in life.
Got great speed.
I got into coaching to help mentor young people. And I'll be honest, people will ask me what I do for a living, and I'll tell them I mentor young men. Football is just a vehicle that allows us to do that.
Lets it fly. He's got Weaver, and Weaver able to make the catch.
I never saw myself being a coach while I was a player. You know, the older I got and the more into it I got as a football player, I saw myself kind of becoming a coach. The more I got as a professional and really understood football and schemes and the tactics and fundamentals of it is when I kind of decided, hey, I have a lot to offer in a unique way, so that's what I'm all about, you know, just serving my guys any way I can and being an open book for them.
You know, the people who impacted me the most during my collegiate experience weren't necessarily my professors or advisors, but more my coaches, and to have the opportunity to do that, you know, for young people was something that was really kind of exciting to me. I do enjoy the strategy of things, and I enjoy game day, but the interaction with the student athletes and the relationships is really pretty special.
Batty, big yardage, the cutback at the 35, spiraling his way down inside the 20, and a big gainer for the Bulls.
Coaches play a pivotal role, and you know, part of why I am the way I am right now is I understand the role that we play, and not just as a position coach, but as a mentor, sometimes as a father figure. You know, we talk with some. They come into my office, and we want to sit down and just talk about just different things that a college student may talk about. You know, girls or whatever the case may be. And I just embrace that, because I know that if it had not been for guys like Kevin Steele, and it had not been for guys like Delmus Barber, again, I would not be who I am today.
Yeah, well, you know what got me into coaching was really the most influential people in my life were coaches. And those men touched my life and provided discipline and structure that I needed. And while I may not have liked it at the time, I needed it. And you gain such a tremendous respect. And then when you look back on it, just how they help shape you.
This segment brought to you by Yingling, America's oldest brewery.
Love that the coaches focus on forming meaningful relationships with their players. And if you've been watching, you're already familiar with running back Brian Bat T. We took one final trip to his hometown, but this time we heard directly from his high school football coach.
What's up, man? How y'all doing? To show y'all around my high school. We at Sarasota High right now, man. This back where it all, I wouldn't say it all started, but this is where it started at before I got to USF. It's been like this since I've been here, but like whenever I first got here, like my freshman year, I say they actually tore down everything and reconstructed it. My locker was right here. This second one right here, man. Same helmets right here. Like everything was kind of new towards the end of my career here. My senior year, they kind of upgraded everything. And then in here is the weight room. This is where you see the most difference at. All right, we used to come out this door this way. We used to get crunk, slam on the door. That's where we used to come out. You come out here. Yeah, we used to come out right here, run into the end zone, you know, get a little crunk, run out. All the fans, that's the home stadium, that's the home side right there.
He's been everything and more than advertised. And this is a guy who has a lot of trust from his football team. They know what number 21 can do with the ball in his hands.
I'm Brody Wiseman. I'm the head coach at Sarasota High School. Actually, I was Brian's offensive coordinator his senior year. That was the last year before I became the head coach here. It was really exciting watching him play, and it's not really often that you get to coach an All-American at the college level in high school. So to me, it was a really cool experience to have a player that talented.
Me and Brian, we've actually been playing football together our whole life. Like I said, we grew up little toddler days. We used to pick on each other, go at each other, work ethic. Yeah, always been there.
You know, I thought maybe his junior year is when he would really kind of come into his own. But I mean, he works so hard, he does extra work. So I guess it's really no surprise that he's doing what he's doing right now. So.
Yeah, so this is my grandpa room right here. My grandpa passed away about a year ago in July. He was my biggest supporter. He took a lot of pride in all his grandchildren. As you can see, he got a whole little section for me right here. He played a big role in the man I am today. Between him and my dad, they molded me into being the man I am to this day. They taught me a lot of things, a lot of keys to life, taught me how to be a man. So I really wish he was here. It's hard talking about him, but I know he's here right now watching. Love my grandpa, man. It's not a thing I wouldn't do for that man. I know it's a thing he wouldn't do for me.
This segment was brought to you by Buhoff Law Group.
So sweet, and I just love the hometown visits that we do. All right, right after the break, we have highlights from yesterday's game against Temple University. That's next.
The Bulls traveled to Philadelphia, where the locals were excited about the Phillies in the World Series and the Eagles having the only unbeaten record in the NFL. USF was set to play on the Eagles' home turf, but their concentration was on the Temple Owls.
All day, make today our day, let's go! And it's going to be the USF offense that we see first today as Temple won the toss and deferred. You get a look at Jeff Scott in his third season. It feels like his team's doing all of the right things except getting it done on the scoreboard.
But they certainly got it done on the scoreboard with an impressive long opening drive.
Out of the backfield, swing pass. Looking for yards, they've got it. There's a first down.
Making his fourth career start at quarterback, Trey Marsh would lead the Bulls to their most productive yardage total of the season, and it started on drive one.
Marsh, quick throw, and a completion to Xavier Weaver. The senior, junior in eligibility out of Orlando. He's on the Biletnikoff watch list and is an absolute star for USF.
Weaver continues to chase several South Florida receiving records. More important, his opening drive catches had the Owls chasing USF.
So another third down coming. This is the 15th play of the opening drive for South Florida. Marsh with time, Marsh into the end zone. Marsh, touchdown to Xavier Weaver, his fourth touchdown catch of the season, and USF strikes first.
Ryan Battee, number 21 for South Florida, will be featured here today. Going to try and replicate the blueprint from last year where they rushed for over 400 yards against Temple.
Battee would have another big ground game against the Owls, but it was his special teams play just before halftime that helped pull the Bulls within 2.
Battee got some room. Gets to the outside, cuts it back to the middle of the field. Brian Battee tripped up as he crosses midfield. A touchdown-saving tackle.
Not for long. It took only 25 seconds to score.
Here's Trey Marsh on the ground trying to get to the outside. He's run out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
Marsh was 3 for 3 in the final minute of the half, despite more injury disruption up front. Injuries, a season-long issue for the Bulls.
Also means you've got a new center in the game, or at that position. That's Dustin Hall, who was the right guard, who's moved over. Quick throw, touchdown! Xavier Weaver again, what an answer for USF before halftime.
All set up by that big return by Brian Battee.
Linebacker Dwayne Boyles led South Florida in tackles for the 5th straight game, but this one was about the offenses on both sides.
Edward Sadie, it's a foot race to the end zone, and he's gonna win it.
It was a track meet, 3 combined TDs in 4 minutes to start the half.
Jimmy Horn ends up with the ball in his hand. He gets to the outside, he gets a block, and he's got a lane to the end zone. Can he get there? Yes! Touchdown, South Florida!
Marsh had a big role in leading the Bulls to nearly 500 yards of offense, with Xavier Weaver his leading target. He had a career-high 119 receiving yards, moving him into 4th place on the Bulls' all-time list. And he wasn't the only one catching touchdown passes.
Looking to throw. He's got time. Now he's pressured. Lobs it into the end zone. Back of the end zone. Touchdown. That's Holden Willis with his first catch of the game and his first touchdown of the season.
Both teams put up season highs in yardage, but as is usually the case in the USF Temple series, the home team was the winner. This week's highlights brought to you by Wendy's.
How bad do you want it? I want it bad. How bad do you want it? I want it bad.
Welcome back to Horns Up USF All Access. Last week, we got an inside look at how the equipment staff prepares the Bulls for their games at Raymond James Stadium. So home games or not, the Bulls are sort of always traveling. Today, we are getting an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at how the staff prepares the Bulls for actual road games.
The South Florida Bulls have spent almost as much time on planes and buses as they have on the practice field, or so it seems. It's hard to figure whether they have more frequent flyer miles or injuries. But to their credit, they've battled on, coming together as a team to meet the challenges ahead. The logistics of preparing an FBS football team for game day is a daunting task. Hallways become weight rooms.
I'm getting my left quad first. Good, flip over, left quad first. Left quad first on my stomach.
Event halls, theaters for watching film.
Especially with kind of where our team is right now, right? Because we've been putting a lot of work in, all right? You guys have put a lot of work in, right? The guys this year and the guys that have been here in the past, we've been a lot of work.
And they serve as cafeterias. Last week, we took a look at how the equipment staff prepares the Bulls for Raymond James Stadium. The process on the road isn't so different, but the time they have to pack the truck and travel is cut in half. Nothing can be left behind. Extra equipment is a must.
We have a group of about 3 to 4 guys on Thursday that fly on Friday with the team, and then Friday they'll wake up, start loading up the stadium for us with all of the things that we might need, and then on Saturdays we'll get there at about 6 a.m. and we'll make sure that we have everything taken care of before the players get there.
During the games, we typically have some guys running footballs on the sidelines, our sideline and the visitor's sideline. They're in charge of any time a ball goes out of bounds or out of play, they have to give the ref a new football. That way they can keep the game moving quicker. And then we also have some guys, we help have whiteboards, towels, markers ready for the coaches anytime they want to come back to the sideline. And then we also have guys kind of ready to fix anything that may happen if a helmet breaks or shoulder pad strap comes off, just guys ready to help with any equipment problems.
After this week's trip to Philadelphia, the Bulls have just one more journey to make before finishing the season at home with the War on I-4. That journey being a Friday kickoff against Tulsa at Chapman Stadium, meaning one less day than usual for the USF equipment staff to wash, pack, drive, fly, and set up before the Bulls take the field. This segment was brought to you by MSC Cruises, a world of discovery.
Time to take a quick break, but when we come back, women's lacrosse head coach Mindy McCord joins us in studio to share more about the new program.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Horns Up USF All Access. 1 year ago, Vice President of Athletics Michael Kelly announced the addition of women's lacrosse to its roster of successful women's programs at USF. And joining us now is USF's women's lacrosse head coach Mindy McCord to tell us more. Welcome, Mindy.
Thank you.
Now tell me, what was your initial reaction when you heard that USF was starting a lacrosse program?
I was so excited because, adding another Division I sport to the state of Florida is just amazing. And Michael Kelly contacted the athletics director to have a conversation with me, and the rest is in the books.
What drew you to want to come to Tampa and to USF?
The city is amazing. I mean, Tampa Bay, professional sports, succeeding. The beach, I'm a beach girl, by nature. The commitment of Michael Kelly and President Law, their strategic visionary leadership and support to build state-of-the-art facilities from the new stadium to the new indoor performance center and our locker rooms.
Talk me through what it's like building a program from the ground up.
It's so exciting. We get to hire an amazing staff, which is in place, and you have to have a talented, committed staff, recruit a lot of players, and we get to sit and do a lot of fun logistics. We just ordered our first uniforms, and the players got to pick their numbers, and we get to do some of that fun stuff. Adidas is an amazing sponsor, so we got some great branding here.
Well, National Signing Day is right around the corner. Talk to me about the talent that's coming to USF and also your playing style.
Yeah, so we have 20 players committed in this first class, and they range from players that were formally recruited by some other schools that decided they wanted to be legacy builders here, some established players who are so excited to be a first here, leaders, good culture families. And so our style of play fits them. They're gritty, they're aggressive, it's a fun run and gun style of play, and it's fast.
Now, what is special about Florida for the sport of lacrosse?
I mean, we're in the warm weather, right? You can't beat playing in the warm weather, and it's a fun spectator sport. When these fans come out, they're gonna see us playing in a conference, the American Athletic Conference, with some of the top teams in the country right here in Tampa Bay. And all these young ladies in this area are going to have great role models and have an opportunity to play the sport too.
Why should everyone in Tampa be excited to watch the sport of lacrosse?
Yeah, it's such a fun sport to play and watch, and we want to have 5,000 people at our first game. And we want to be one of the most dominant teams in this region, and we want to be the highest attended games. So I think it's going to be fun because of the style of play that we play and the amazing talent across the country that we're going to be able to bring here and play those teams too.
How do you envision the culture of your team?
I see our team being legacy leaders, women that can set the standard for future players to come. I see our families being great leaders and community members, that we're going to be Team USF, whether it's at our school, in the community, or in our households. We want to be the representatives that make this university proud.
Well, why is a culture like that so important? How much of a difference does it make?
It's the life breath of your team. When you have a good culture, there's a lot then that you can reap the rewards because, talent is one aspect, but you really have to focus on having the structure and the continuity of good people in your program. And when you have people that have a great vision and belief is one of the number one things that's going to be integral to our success.
Well, finish it up by talking to me about the bond of this coaching staff.
Yeah, my best friends, I get to work with my best friends every day. Everyone here could be a head coach, right? From Coach Paul, former NFL coach, to Coach Britt, our associate head coach, who one of the best recruiting coordinators in the country, came from Stanford, a champion. They're champions. They have a champion mindset. They're champion people, and we're family. And the love that we have between us, I hope, reciprocates what our players feel with each other.
Well, thank you for joining us here today. We all can't wait for the future of lacrosse.
Thank you for having us.
Well, that is all the time we have for this week's show. Don't forget, you can catch the next Bulls football game this Saturday, November 12th at 12 p.m. against the Southern Methodist University Mustangs. The Bulls are returning to the Bay Area, so join us at Raymond James Stadium this weekend. And then join us Sunday night at 9 right here for more exclusive footage. For Karen and myself, thanks for watching. Have a great night.